So, how to know you have a buyer, how to definitely know that you have a buyer by qualifying them using this 3-step formula. You ready for this podcast episode? The goal for it is to get you to believe that the key to knowing that you have a buyer is by qualifying them using these 3 steps and in 10 minutes or less. So let us get into it. I've been using this 3-step formula for pretty like consistently recently. And I think it takes like it's getting to the truth. That's what it is. I got it from .com Secrets by Russell Brunson. Definitely check it out. I'll have a link down below. But the first step for this 3-step formula is how to uncover their true desire. I think you should start this before like anything else. This is the first thing that you're going to do in any new potential transaction for a lot of different reasons. This could be like relationship wise as well as prospecting, just prospect. So here it is. You ask this question, and the best part about this question is that you could kind of just use it as a conversation. If you're having a boring conversation, try this out and you will be shocked at what you uncover. It's a pretty crazy question. And then I think I added kind of like my own follow-up question after it. That's the sauce. This is the sauce, y'all. The sauce. Here it is. If we were having this conversation 3 years from now, what would have to happen both personally and professionally for you to feel like you made some progress? And then you just wait. They're going to take a deep breath and be like, wow, it's a deep ass question. And then they're just going to tell you exactly what they desire. It's pretty interesting. And like, I think the best part about it is that you're going to get to know the person and what they like truly desired at a pretty deep level from that one question, which is it's crazy. And it's been it's super powerful too, because that's like what I was trying to get out as nobody cares how much you know until they know how much you care. And like I'm telling you, by asking that question, if we were having this conversation 3 years from now, what would have to happen both personally and professionally for you to feel like you made good progress? Something along those lines. Yeah, super powerful. And then, so it's either going to fall into 3 different categories, which is how to help them help themselves. So once you uncover what the desire is, so you're qualifying them, and then the next part is to like figure out what market that desire fits into. It's going to be one of 3 or a combination of all of them. And this is where the second follow-up question comes in handy. So it's going to be like something that has to do with health, more than likely weight loss. 2 is going to be wealth, money, and then 3 is relationships. But I think I found that like this one's really not like the most important first one for most people, I think, because I think they want to get these 2 areas handled because they don't even think this one's like possible, which is understandable because they want to have these in order, the health and the wealth, which I think is a good strategy. And then you can focus on the relationships. But I'm pretty sure all roads lead back to the relationships. That's what I've uncovered under my studies. So For example, I asked this question to the homie yesterday because we were just like not really getting anywhere with the conversation. And he wasn't asking me like much either. And I was like, I was asking like what he like likes to do and like try to figure out like what this guy's about. So I asked him that question, and he told me like, yeah, yeah, it's such a good question. He told me that he wanted to lose a lot of weight. He wanted to get down to 200 pounds, and I think like right now he's at like 350 ish, or maybe like 320 to 350. I can't remember, but yeah, still like over 100 pounds down. And it was and like that's like what I'm saying too. That's the first thing that you want to start with, because you don't want to like go selling somebody on a business opportunity when they're trying to like their main desire is to like lose weight, if that makes sense. So that's figuring out how you could help themselves. And then so the follow-up question after that is to like really determine what their real true desire is asking this one. I think actually for the professional answer, we kind of had like a hard time figuring out what he wanted. So I asked a couple other questions, or I came up with a scenario that I've been playing with myself, because like that's like what I've been doing is saying that he's gonna get here it is. You're gonna get $1 million in 10 months for sure. Your job for the next for the time leading up to that is to figure out exactly what you want to do with your $1 million, right? So that's another great question. And then I asked him after that, after we established like some desires that he potentially wanted, then I asked him, I was like, okay, well, what would you rather have like tomorrow? What would you rather have tomorrow? Would you rather be at 200 pounds, or would you rather have $1 million? See, then it's just really breaking down to see the true desire, right? So I think I just came up with that question like kind of on the spot, because I was like kind of interested. I was just like, well, and then after that, then I was like, okay, you're not getting $1 million like in 10 months guaranteed, but like, you know what you would do if you wanted to what you want to do if you did have the money. So now that you have that desire, and that it would take $1 million, so your $1 million, that would be your goal for $1 million to and then the next step, I just told him about like the goal set, put a date on it, a plan, and then get to work. So the last thing would be how to take the next step. And from there, basically, that's like the best part. So like he told me his like ultimate desire. He told me that he I don't know how it came up, but he told me he had savings already, and potentially good credit, which is what we're looking for when we're doing sales and we're trying to qualify people. Do they have money to buy your product? And then from there, then you transition. Like what I'm thinking, like the best, I didn't do it because I'm saying, like, it was more for the health aspect, and that's going to be in the works. And when the time is right, I'll come back to him with transitioning into like a presentation. Like, okay, well, what if I told you that like we can reach that goal, and I can show you exactly how. Is that something you might be interested in? Because we just uncovered that they are interested in it, and also too, they can put money towards their desire, and then then you transition into your product and presentation. Like, I think that would be how you would definitely know that at least you have a potential buyer rather than just not knowing any of that stuff and just going into a presentation and like figuring out they aren't into anything, even after all these like questions. If they're not giving you anything, then they're not interested, or they have no desire, which is like one of the biggest downfalls it says in this book, that is just like one who is self-satisfied just doesn't want anything else out of life. All right. But that is it for this video. I think it might ran a little longer than expected, but yeah, I hope you guys liked it. I hope just appreciate you guys checking it out, and I'll see you guys in the next one.